Hello, everyone. And we are back with another episode of My Conversation Corner, the podcast that's the story behind the struggle of success. You can follow me on all my Instagrams, Twitter, and no, not Instagram. I'm sorry, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at My Conversation Corner. Today, we are interviewing my homeboy, my boy from Bowie State University, Coach Bryan Wilson. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. It's funny you mentioned all these social platforms, especially TikTok. You got TikTok?
I got TikTok, I got Instagram, and I got YouTube. I'm trying to branch out to the other ones, but it takes too much time to do all that stuff. So I'm branching into it slowly.
So you remember when we was in school, we was doing Vine, making
Vine
videos.
was the thing, man. Vine.
Well, I feel like I don't have TikTok. But I feel like it's the same thing, but it's just longer.
It
videos.
is. It's just an extended version of Vine.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, people are like how we were like planning things out, and we would like do the thing where we drop the ball and we would run around.
Yeah. I still got that video.
Yeah, people are really planning out their stuff now, so it's like a business. So people are like really putting the production value behind it.
Yeah,
and so that it's enough. It's one of those things that you just gotta take your time to get into and just like feel it out, because I'm kind of like learning as I go, right as we speak.
Right.
It'll turn into something as things get better. But let's really get into it, brother. So just a little backstory. You were my teammate for Bowie State University for my last 2 years at Bowie, and you were my roommate, which was actually a great opportunity for me, because then we can link up. We had the apartment to ourselves for a whole year, which was great. But let's go back a little bit further than that. Let's go way back. What got you into basketball, man?
So, just to add something to what you just said, we was a team at Riverdale too, right? High school.
Yeah, we were. We definitely were. I remember that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, starting off, I grew up, up in Marlboro, Maryland. My family's a basketball family. Father's a coach, so I feel like he kind of put the ball in my hands indirectly. Going to his practices, going to his games. As a toddler. So right when I was born, I'm at the games, practices, and all that good stuff. So I feel like just being around it, I kind of was, I don't want to say forced into it. I was just, kind of loved it because that's all I knew.
I gravitated toward it,
yeah, that's all I knew. I started playing. I was like 5 or 6 years old. Mini mix playing with Kettering. Mini mix. I actually played up. Probably playing count. I played up pretty much the whole time. I never played my age group.
Yeah.
I guess I was a little advanced just because I was, into basketball so early as a kid. But I started playing mini mix, started playing county basketball, playing against other, cities like Marlboro, Clinton, who else is good? District Heights. But we're Karen Largo, Mitchellville, KLM. It's kind of where I still am today, so I'm still living in the area.
Right.
But yeah, so growing up, I played, county basketball. I started playing AAU when I was 8 years old. Again, I played up. Me and my cousin Chad, we played up a year. In that first year we played up, we didn't play a lot. We didn't get a lot of minutes, but, we got the experience of playing, AAU basketball at a young age. In our team, which it was called Jabo Kenner, we had Chris Wright on the team. He played at Georgetown. We had Kevin Ford, went to Morehouse. We had some good guys on our team. We came second place in nationals. So after that nationals, me and Chad was like, man, we want to do our own thing. We want to play our own age group. Actually get a feel. We saw how competitive and how good it was.
What was nationals at that time?
It was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so Memphis, Tennessee. So we wanted to play and have a big role instead of just being, role guys off the bench. We wanted to, have our own team. So we went back to Memphis again the following year, and we played our regular age group, and we actually won the championship that year with Team Maryland. My father was the coach. I played for my father growing up from 9 all the way to high school. So being a coach's son, it was a little tough,
Yeah,
you got your coaches on
you. He's gonna be on you every day about it.
Because as a player, your coach is always on you in practice and games, but I got to hear on the way home. When I get home, if I make a mistake, it's kind of magnified. And I felt like I had more pressure on me because I didn't want to be the kid that was just playing, like getting minutes to become the coach's son. I want to prove that I was actually good and able to produce. I wasn't just playing because my dad was the coach.
Right.
So I kind of had like a little added pressure to be make the right play or win games just to prove myself. Moving on from AAU, well, I stay there. 10 and under, we moved up a year. All team moved up. We came in second place. 11 and under came in first place. Tottenham came in first place. So each year we were going to the nationals and placing first or second.
Right.
When we finally got to high school, our team kind of split up with different high schools, different AU programs. So it was kind of different because that's all I knew. That the team Maryland, we was together 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We was together 5 or 6 years playing every summer. And then going to high school, we all split up. It's like a whole new thing.
Right.
So I actually ended up taking the summer off going into high school. I didn't play AAU. I just kind of chilled out before high school and kind of just be a regular kid, hang with my friends, go to Six Flags, go to movies, be a regular kid that summer. It was kind of refreshing because, the grind every summer is kind of tough. And like I said, I added pressure on myself just to try to be, a good player. Just like I said, I'm not trying to be just playing because I'm the coach's son. I want to be, a contributor.
Right.
Yeah. So, am I going too long? We're just keep going. Okay. Cool. So when I get to high school, my first year I played JV, 9th grade. Right before the season, PE class, I broke my wrist. So I didn't play the full season. I broke my wrist playing football, tackle football outside. Doing PE class. So I got an interception, I'm running the back. Somebody tackled me. I braced myself, fall on my wrist. So I get up, I'm like, everything's okay. Like, I'm ready to go. But everybody's looking at my wrist, like, look at your wrist. Like, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what happened? Like, I got tackled. So I look at it, it's like dangling. I'm like, oh, something is wrong. So I ended up going to the hospital. Realized I broke my wrist. So I didn't start playing until like January of that year. Mm-hmm. So that happened like October-ish.
That's halfway through the season, right? At that point.
What you say?
That's halfway through the season at that point.
Yeah. So I missed pretty much half of that year. And but when I came back, first game back, I didn't miss a beat. I was still like shooting around with one hand. I just couldn't do anything live. I was still getting shots up, working out. Just couldn't play live. Kind of cast on. Right. 10th grade, played JV, part-time varsity. When you came, you was a senior that year. Yep. And I think that's what 07?
07, yep.
Yeah, 06, 07. I was a sophomore. I played some games varsity. I guess we didn't have a JV game. I think I suited up for varsity. Yeah. And I didn't get in every game. I got in a couple games. Got a couple points. We was up a lot or went down a lot. I think that might be when I first met you. I think I knew you before. I think you played with my brother too.
Yeah, so I played with your brother when I was I played my 8th grade year because it was an 8th grade into my 9th grade year, and I was taking a PE class because I was homeschooled that year. Mm-hmm. So that was my PE credit playing with you guys.
Okay.
I think you were still on JV or junior maybe junior varsity or 8th grade team or whatever it was. But I played with your brother, and your father enjoyed me playing with him because I could shoot. So I was just if I was gonna play, I was gonna shoot. That was it.
Right.
I wasn't shooting too many threes. I was just shooting wherever I could get my shot off. But I didn't play that games. And then I think when I transferred to Riverdale my senior year, I was coming from Largo.
Okay.
And I played with I think your brother had been graduated by that point, but then you were like a sophomore.
Yeah. So that year, so we played together, a couple games, but other than being in school and practice, we didn't hang out nothing crazy. It's high school,
Right. Absolutely.
I do remember, you can shoot the ball. So nowadays, I feel like you probably thrive in this time now because, stretch fives, everybody shoot the ball, put the ball on the floor. Whereas back then, they kind of wanted you to post up a little bit. But Grant, you took some threes. You took a lot of threes.
I took a few threes at the beginning of the season. And I think I kind of got away from it. I should have kept taking shots because I think that first season, the first few games, I knocked down like two or three threes at the beginning of the game.
Right.
And I kind of got away from it because I think I either lost my confidence or something happened. I just didn't start taking as many threes.
Yeah, so you're a little ahead of your time because a lot of bigs weren't shooting.
Right.
Shots like that.
And your father was okay with me shooting, which was great.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're making them.
Yeah, as long as I'm making them. Right. Exactly.
So then, like I said, so moving on from that year, my junior year was my first time playing fully varsity. And summer league, I was coming off the bench. again, I'm still trying to prove myself because my dad's still the coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not want to say like I'm going to varsity, I'm going to be the man just because my dad's the coach. So like some of the, I'm getting, minutes here and there. But once, practice starts, I'm kind of doing my thing. I earned a starting spot. That year, we still had Matt Graves, we had Phillip Brooks, Thomas Robinson, he's probably the biggest name. Ended up playing in Kansas, and then Javon came. Senior year, we ended up playing Chad. Chad was still there, my cousin Chad Wilson, Javon. Had a pretty good year. I think we finished like 28-5, something like that. So we had, had a pretty decent high school career. I wasn't getting a lot of college looks. St. Francis wanted me to come in. Their coach got fired. Hampton wanted me to come redshirt a year. I was like, I'm not really trying to, sit. I wanted to play. I didn't want to just practice. Which, looking back, I probably could use the redshirt year.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing that at Coppin myself. So
yeah, which I think people, like kids now, they think of redshirt year like a demotion or like you're not good, but it's really as the coach sees something in you. They think you need a year to develop, get stronger. You're not wasting a year just playing scrap minutes. Which what I did at Bowie when I got to Bowie. So I got to Bowie freshman year, played like maybe 10 minutes a game, something like that. So we were pretty good. Won our division regular season championship. Sophomore year, I ended up starting, played 30 minutes a game. That's probably one of my favorite years because we.
What about that year made it good?
What you say?
What about that year made it good for you?
I think I don't know. I think our team was just all together. Like we had a lot of freshmen. I think we only returned like 3 guys from the year before, so we had a lot of new guys. So we kind of just clicked right away. Like we had Jay Gavin come in. He was new. Darren Clark, Westmoreland. He came in. We had Lil Jew. We had MJ. Tron all came. So it was like a fresh group, and we all kind of just clicked. It was just fun to play together. Junior year, that's when you came.
Right, and from what I remember, I should have come the year before.
Yeah. I think after your year at Coppin, I think my dad was trying to tell you like, yo, you should come to Bowie, like they could use you.
And that's the thing. I think I didn't get the message from your father. If I got it from your father, I would have.
Right.
Jump, but I think also I was my goal was to go D1 and play D1.
Right.
And I played very well that first year as a freshman, and then my father was going through this thing where he was like, "Well, we got to get you doing the things that you do. Shoot, you can play facing the basket, but you can post up as well." And we sat down with the coach one day and was like, "Well, let's figure that out and let's do something different this year." And then he said, "Yeah, we're gonna do all the different things." And then he went back to what we did the year before. So that's when I decided to leave.
So when you left Riverdale, you went to prep school, right?
Yeah, I went to prep school for a year at St. Thomas More in Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went out there with Jerry Quinn. He's a really good coach, but he's hard on you. Like you're out in Connecticut, you're away from your family, you right on the water, and it snows. You going to school, you going to classes, and you are going to practice. Right. It was a good year for me to develop, and I'm grateful for that year because it allowed me to be able to come into Bowie when I did come to Bowie and
right. So you went to St. Thomas More, you went to Coppin. You redshirted Coppin your first year, right?
Yeah, I think I did. I redshirt the first year because I didn't have I was like 10 points off the SAT scores I needed to get. To go.
They don't look at that no more. They don't look at the SATs.
And I have to say, I keep saying, I've always been ahead of my time in some way, form, or fashion.
Right.
Or behind in a way that's like if you had there was just one more year, then you'd have been fine.
Yeah. But again, so you came in that year. We had a pretty good year. That a year, I don't know that year. You hurt your back before the year or after the year?
So I think I actually hurt my back at Coppin. So okay. I was coming in, and I could jump out of the gym at the time. I was hurt at the beginning of at the beginning of the year, at the end of my school year at Coppin, because we were doing the workouts and I'm trying my best to like keep up with everybody. And he's like, "Oh, it's mental. It's mental. Your back pain is mental." And I'm like, "No, I can't wake up and roll out of bed like I usually do. It hurts."
Right.
And they were like, "Well, keep pushing me," and then sending me to chiropractor and doing all these other things that weren't conducive to helping me get better.
Right.
I got like 6 cortisone shots that year, and then it turned into just me making it through the season. And I was going to do something about it the year before I went to Bowie, but I didn't think I needed surgery.
Right.
And I didn't realize that until after that year.
Yeah. Got you. But yeah, so that year, finished the junior year. Our senior year, again, we had the room to ourselves. We had the two, had a 4-bedroom apartment, just us two. You got your side, my side. We had some good times in there, the back cave.
You got old boy kicked out. I remember.
Yeah, we had some good times in there, man. We had some good times. But in that year, we ended up winning the championship, CIAA championship.
So let's talk about TIW champion, because I'm gonna do this thing where I'm gonna talk to all the guys and we're gonna talk about this year. Like, tell me about that year, because you like up until that the beginning of the season, we had the best team the year before. We had
Right.
Ali, we had all the bigs. We had even Big Jew was playing in a few minutes, and then we just didn't. I don't even know why we didn't pull it off.
Well, that year before, I feel like we had so much talent is kind of tough because everybody is capable of playing.
Right.
I don't think we really bought into the team matchup. We just winning games because we were just better than everybody. I feel like the following year, we might have been a little less talented, top to bottom, but I think we were more together. Like, even though we're losing games, we still stood together. Like, we started the year kind of rocky. Whereas the past year, I think we lost like 5 or 6 games. But, our senior year, we ended up losing we was under 500 most of the year. But, I don't think that was like a testimony to we were the bad team. I thought we were just losing close games. We was trying to figure it out. And towards the end of the season, we kind of on a roll going into the tournament. I see we was under 500 like late in the season. Then we won our last 6 or 7 games to put us up above 500. But I don't know, the chemistry was just good. We had we had Westmoreland, Ray Gatlin, that was his first year there. Carlos Smith, first year. Still had Najee Meter. Off the bench, we still had LJ, myself, you.
You had me, but you really didn't have me that year. Like, you only had me the last 7 games because of the eligibility situation.
Yeah. So when you came in, you had a boost. You was rested. You weren't tired or banged up from all year. You was rested up.
I think that was a big help for the team because I would have been exhausted and like body, mentally, and physically just tired. So those last 7 games, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'll sit here and I was some sort of spectacular thing, but I think I came in and did what I needed to do to make sure that we won.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. I think everybody knew what their role was and kind of embraced it and just tried to do the best they could. Whereas in the past, everybody wanted to be the man, take all the shots, being in the limelight. Whereas our senior year, everybody just wanted to do, kind of what took the one. Like Ray, he could have scored a lot. He's a scorer, but he came in, he's facilitating. Wes is always the man. He always took all the shots. Our leading scorer. Meter, kind of utility guy, do whatever. Lowe, same way, did whatever it took. I think Lowe's won. I think he won 2 rings in JUCO too. I think Lowe's.
Yeah, he did. You're right, he did.
Yeah, so just everybody wanted to win. Najee, like I said, myself, you, Jew, Trizzy. I mean, everybody, kind of contributed in their own, own way. But yeah, it was a good year. Good year to finish out our senior year. We graduated, we're all on top. Won the ring.
Yeah. So listen, you got the ring, 2013. What happens next? Because what you do after that? Because I don't think you played. I think you went to grad school after that. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. So, graduated May. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at grad schools. I'm looking at jobs. Once I graduate, all those basketball. So my whole life I'm playing basketball. Basketball got me in school. Basketball carried me this and this. So I'm I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just stuck. I need to get a job. I need to go to grad school, more school. But I'm go to grad school, gonna pay for it. I don't got money to pay for it. I ain't trying to get on the loans like that. So I ended up applying for this program called Sports Changes Life. I applied for it maybe April, but I never heard anything back. So I'm thinking I ain't get it. So Matt Graves actually told me about it. Matt Graves did the same program in Ireland.
What was it?
We say?
What was it?
It's in Ireland. Yeah, so in Ireland, and I got a call me a week or 2 after graduation, and they called me. I was half asleep. It was a Saturday morning with the time difference. It's probably 6 a.m. And they calling me. I'm who's this calling me? Let me answer. It might be an emergency. So they called me. It's is this Bryan Wilson? I'm yeah, this is such for Sports Changes Life. They gave me a moment to talk. I said, yeah, I just woke up, but give me a minute. So I'll call you back. So they called me back probably 15 minutes later. Basically told me they want me to, go to Ireland and do the program. The program was basically it was kind of threefold. It was go to grad school, and they're going to take care of that. Play overseas on the team, and I would be doing like community service. So like the community service is like basically teaching them how to play basketball, like teaching the at-risk kids. Their thing was using sports to change people's lives. So played a lot of different games, but the main thing was teaching them how to play basketball. I got my master's in sports management while I was over there. Again, I played overseas while I was there too on the team. So it was a good program. I'm glad I did it. It was a 1 year program. I got my master's degree in 1 year. No complaints, different experience. Growing up PG County, it's all African Americans. Going to HBCU, same thing. And then when I go to Ireland, it's a culture shock because it's totally different to what I'm used to. I'm growing up around a certain demographic, and I get over there, it's totally different. So I had to adjust a little bit. It was an eye-opening experience. It's more to the world than just the DMV.
Did you know anybody there when you get? Because I know it's a program, so I'm assuming there's more people there with you.
Yeah, so it was 15 different people in the program. There was one person that I knew of through mutual friends that's from Maryland. Her name was Brittany Waters, and she went to Lincoln, which is our rival school.
Yeah.
So I didn't know her until we got there, and she was in my flat like an apartment. She was a flatmate, so we kind of bonded. We got along. We still friends to this day. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because she's from this area as well. She lives like 10 minutes from me, and never met her until I went to Ireland. All across the world. And I've seen her before. We played against their teams, but I never spoke to her. I didn't know her, so it's kind of worked out. We kind of bounced off each other while we're out there. Stuff going on. We kind of relate to each other because again, we're the only African Americans out there. But yeah, so once that year was over, I kind of had an idea what I wanted to do. I wanted to stay around sports, kind of on the business side. When I came back from Ireland, I kind of want to get into coaching. So I reached out to Coach Brooks. I reached out to some other people in the area, trying to secure a coaching job. I went on interviews other places, but Coach Brooks actually offered me a job, to be an assistant coach. I was part-time assistant. Wasn't much money. So that first year I was kind of, doing part-time work, but I was there all the time. I was there all day. Kind of have another job. After that year, our associate head coach, Coach Stewart, he got a job somewhere. I think he went to Morgan after that.
Yeah, I think he did that year.
I think he went straight to Morgan. And once he left, Coach promoted me to that top assistant spot. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got blessed. Whereas if Coach Stewart, stayed there, I probably had to find another job somewhere else. I wouldn't be part time,
all the time,
multiple years.
You got to pay bills.
Yeah. So once Coach Stewart left, I promoted to the top assistant. I've been doing that for 10 years now. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Time's flying. It's 2025. Time's flying.
Time is flying, man.
Yeah.
When it comes to how you operate now versus how you operated then, what's different when it comes to coaching? Like what really got you into coaching?
I think I've been doing it so long, it's just natural now. When I first got into it, you really don't know all that goes into coaching, like outside of the X's and O's, outside of practice. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of policies you got to abide by, a lot of things you got to just set in place. You're not just drawing up plays or working guys out. That's the fun part.
Yeah,
being on the court, that's the fun part. But I think I adjusted just from experience. I know what to do, what not to do. What kind of moves the players now than back then, because the times have changed. Like the kids now are totally different than the guys we grew up with and the guys I coached early on in my career. Because my first year I coached, so we had Fresh still, we had Cam, Joel, Gucci. So I think I coached 4 guys that I played with my first year.
Yeah.
So they were still on the team. But after that, everybody else I didn't play with, so I didn't really know them. I kind of wasn't a big brother anymore to them. So I feel like for the guys I play with, I know them. I know, we did in dorms, all that kind of stuff. So we kind of had that relationship, that connection. Whereas moving forward, I don't have that connection with them because I didn't hang out with them, day to day, just in practice. So I kind of got to get a feel for
We
them.
learn new guys every year.
Yeah. And it's crazy now. Like I told you, offline we had 4 guys returning this year from the team from last year. So we lost a lot of guys to the transfer portal or that graduated. So we got basically a whole new team coming in, this next year coming up.
So when it comes to the next step of looking for a new team, like how's that process? What's that process look like?
So right now we're making calls. This guy we saw during the year that we liked. We're bringing in for workouts and visits, just so we can get to know them a little bit better. It's one thing to see them playing games and practice at the high school, but when they come to our campus, they get a feel for what we do. We get a feel for how they are. They'll play with returning guys, so we'll see how they play against college competition, because it's a little different than high school. High school and college is like totally different game.
Big difference, and it's like a big learning curve when it comes to that. I had to learn it as well when I was at Coppin, from prep school to Coppin. Big difference.
Yeah, because college is a lot more faster, more physical, more thinking. Whereas in high school, if you stronger, faster, more skilled, you're gonna be good. But in college, everybody like that, so you got to actually outwork them.
Right, and even off the floor, it's a lot more going into it.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like the education and going and grades, you've got to be able to like keep up.
Yeah, you gotta have some responsibility about yourself. Cause nobody's waking you up, go to school, go to class. Nobody's telling you to do your homework. It's all on you. Because if you don't do it, then you're gonna be out of school. Whereas at home, you got somebody gonna wake you up. Maybe make sure you stay on top of your work. The teachers a little more on top of you. We just have ruler they were on top of you. But in college, if you don't do your work, teachers don't really care. They're gonna get paid regardless.
So because of that, when it comes to being a coach, what are you guys doing to make sure that these guys are, because there is a learning curve and you got to teach them this learning curve because they're coming in as freshmen. What are you guys doing as coaches to make sure that they're on top of their thing? Like,
we do class checks, make sure they're going to class. We do have progress reports for the guys, the teachers to do. But the biggest thing is having good guys that want to graduate, because if you don't want to graduate, you're not gonna want to go to class. So we want recruit good guys that want to be successful in their life, not just basketball players. Well-rounded humans.
What do you say to those guys? Like, because this is a part of it. But what are you saying to those kids? Like, all right, in my junior year or my senior year, what would you tell them to like be prepared for when it comes to transferring from high school to college?
So you mean junior years from high school?
Junior year for high school, because as you know, coming from high school, you have to prepare yourself every year to go to
right.
The freshman year in high school, junior year in high school, senior year in high school. That jump from junior and senior year, what would you be telling those guys, those kids who are in high school, to say, all right, these are the things you need to be worried about, these things you need to be prepared for?
I think just building good habits. You start the habits early. The earlier you start them, the easier it's going to be. You can't start, being responsible or, taking care of yourself once you get to college. I feel like before that, you got to start building good habits. Get up on your own. Having good grades. Because you don't have good grades in high school, you really can't go to college. But having to do it without anybody telling you. Stay on top of your schoolwork. Just taking on more responsibility around the house. I'm not sure what people have. I know growing up I had chores and stuff I had to do, but I don't know if a lot of people have chores. But just doing that without having your parents or whoever you live with having to ask you to do something. You know what I mean? Just taking responsibility for yourself, because in college, you have to wash your own clothes. You got to, cook your own food unless you go to the caf. So it's a lot of, you're on your own. So you don't have anybody there to help you. I know people come from different backgrounds. People might do that on their own already in high school, but some people may not. It just depends on where we get guys from. We kind of meet them where they are and try to help transition them into college, and then from college to real life.
Okay. So, and you've been coaching for 10 years now at this point. Out of your 10 years of coaching, either what's something that has been the highlight of your 10 years of coaching?
The highlights. There's been a lot of highlights, a lot of good moments.
Let's talk about it.
I think just granted, you connect to different guys more than other guys just based off personalities and connections. But I think the highlights is just seeing them, grow up from the time they get on campus, to by the time they're seniors to alumni, seeing, the guys I coached at homecoming, hanging out, just seeing them become kind of cliche, but coming from boys to men. I think that's a good highlight because they come in, they fresh, they don't know nothing.
Yeah, green as hell.
They don't know nothing. But by the time they leave us, they've matured. Again, that responsibility aspect kicks in. They go into the real world and kind of do their thing. Besides that, I would say probably the championship year, 2017, when we won as a coach.
Oh, that was actually your first ring as a coach.
Yeah. So that season was similar to our 13 year when we won as a player. Like, we were up and down. We were a little bit low 500 going into the tournament. We made a run towards and kind of the same situation. Because in 13 we won 4 games and 4 nights to win. In 17, same thing, won 4 games, 4 nights as an underdog. Nobody believed we can, do it. We kind of surprised some people, I guess. So I think those are the two biggest highlights. Just seeing the guys grow, year to year and becoming successful in their lives. And obviously, winning the championship was another highlight.
So, question: when it comes to your championship year, and you said it was very similar to our championship year, do you feel or think that how you started the season and how you ended the season, even though we were better the year before we won, it leans towards a win when it comes to the championship because of how you guys ended the season? Because you said it was very similar. Like, you got four games from 4 nights. That means you are below 500 or you're not in the top 4. So that means you played every night.
Right.
That contributes to them being more hungry for that win.
I think so. I think because people kind of write you off, when you're the underdog. You're like, they're going to be down there a day and they're going to lose. We'll be back home. So it's like that kind of motivates you, fuels you, like to prove everybody wrong. Whereas when you're the one seed, you're expected to win. So everybody, like, yeah, they're going to win. Like, so you kind of have in your head, like, we're going to win. Like, nobody's going to beat us. So you got the target on your back, but you still think, like, nobody's going to beat us because we're the best team. Whereas underdog, you're trying to hunt everybody else. Like, oh, they come in there latch because we the 4 seed, but, we're still a good team. Even though we lost some games, the seed don't really matter. We got to, lace them up and play.
Yeah. All right. That's good. That was good stuff. But now my question to you is: you've been coach for 10 years. What's next? Because granted, you're going to be at Bowie this year, but I know you don't want to be an assistant coach forever. What's the next goal? And I don't want to make it seem like you're trying to take over anybody's position or none of that. But like, I want to know where you want to go next.
Well, my ultimate goal is to get a head coaching job. Be it at Bowie or another university. I really don't want to do high school. I'd rather do college. I feel like in high school, a lot of guys aren't as serious about it. Some guys do it just for fun, kind of weed through that. But college, everybody, you're getting some money to go to school, you're getting scholarships, so they're a little more serious. Some guys want to go overseas, some guys want to make it to the next level. So you got guys that are really serious about basketball. I don't want to be around people that are not serious about it. It's doing it for a hobby because it's my livelihood. I want to make a long career out of this. So my next goal is to be a head coach. Whether like I said at Bowie or another institution, but that's my ultimate goal. I'm just learning day to day. Being a coach of Brooks for I guess 15 years total, 4 years playing and 10, 11 years coaching. So I got a good mentor, and again, my father's a basketball coach as well. He's been coaching for 40-some years, so bouncing ideas off him, kind of watching, learning from him as well. So I have some good people in my corner that's really guiding me a little bit. But I'm ready. When that time comes, I'll be ready.
You said your father was a coach, and I know him. He was my coach for many years. When it comes to coaching, and when it comes to just the aspect of learning new guys and being a head coach or being an assistant coach, what are some of the things that your father gave you, some wisdom he gave
you? Nothing directly, just watching him. I just watched him over the years. Again, since I was born, I was in the gym with him. So I played for him. I've seen it all. I've seen him help, help his own guys. I've seen him help, rival players, rival coaches. Just being a good person. But that goes a long way. Good karma.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm glad you were able to hop on this podcast with me because you like, bro, you have also been somebody that I've always looked up to, like look up to, but you my little brother. Like, right. I'm older than you, but like, bro, you somebody that I always fuck with. So like, I want to give you an opportunity to like shine a light on what you're doing and give an opportunity for people to see who you are and actually get people to come out and see some of the games. What's the schedule look like?
Yeah, I appreciate it. We are still not say yet. We have 4 more games to get, but we don't start until November, so we got a little time before then.
Okay, so what's the preseason when it comes to that? What's the preseason look like?
So our preseason that starts. When is that? September. We start preseason workout. So we do, weightlifting, conditioning, skill work. We have practices. Last year in our preseason, we played Hampton University, we played Morgan State University, and Washington and Venice. So we played 3 preseason games last year, and we beat Washington and Venice. We beat Hampton. It was a big win for us. Went down there, beat them, and then Morgan we lost to. So we went 2-1 in our preseason games. We played Howard, another D1 school, during the regular season. When we play whoever, we always have a good strength of schedule. We try to play good games. Our environment is always good, especially against the conference games. All the students come out, the families come out. Most of our players are from Maryland, so their friends and family can come out and support them. And of course, the student body comes out, so it's always a good atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to the teams you playing now, because I remember at one point you said you played Howard, but Howard's not in the CIAA, are they?
Nah, Howard's in the MEAC. That was kind of like a non-conference game for them. They dropped some. They only have 8 conference teams down the MEAC, so they're always looking for more games.
I was wondering about that because did the CIAA expand this year? Or
the CIAA, we lost a school and we added a school. We lost St. Aug's. Their school is closing down. We added Bluefield.
Shutting it down. Wow, I didn't know that would happen.
Yeah. Accreditation.
Okay.
They lost accreditation. Some funding issues, so they're no longer in the conference. And then Bluefield State's HBCU in West Virginia, which is new to me. I never knew there was, that school in Virginia, West Virginia. They came in the conference. They actually went to championship this year. They're a good team.
Oh, okay. What happened last season this year? Because I didn't hear much. I didn't hear much about it. What's going on? What happened this season this year?
We finished 16-14. We had a good season. The last 5 or 6 games, we kind of didn't finish it all. We were in first place, and then we lost 5 of our last 6. So we kind of dropped to 4th place. So we won 2 of those last 5 before the tournament. Would have won our division. So we're really close. We had a good team. So we had a couple of guys that are graduating this year. We have some grad seniors that are moving on. So we only have 4 guys returning. So we got to kind of rebuild. We had a good season, though. Like I said, we beat 2 D1 teams. We made it to the quarterfinals of our conference tournament. And we had a winning record, which has been better than the last 3 years. Granted, 16-14 is not great. It's not great, but it's not bad.
It's not. It's above 500. That's kind of the hope is when you don't do well that season, you still want to at least be above 500.
Yeah, we used to win. We used to be getting 20 wins wherever we at.
Yeah, I think that first year, then my junior year we only lost like 1 or 2 games at home or something like that.
Yeah, the conference, man, we was loaded that year, so we might have lost 1 or 2, if that.
So what was the streak that we had? Because it was a home game streak thing that we were going on. What was that?
Well, I know the year before you got there, we didn't lose a game at home. So my sophomore year, we were undefeated at home. And then I don't think we lost at home until like late in the season, the year you came.
Okay.
So we had a good streak going. We won at least 15 games my sophomore year, and probably 7 or 8 games, when you came.
Yeah.
So it was like, we're playing at home, we're gonna win. Like, the crowd there, we lit.
The crowd would be lit. The crowd
lit. After the game, go back to the room, have a good time. It was just a good atmosphere. But now I feel like it's not the same since COVID. Right. A lot of students don't come to the games as much as they did. I think that's because there's a lot of online classes now. So back when we were playing, we was in class, like we going to the game promoted, like we got game tonight, like pull up. Mm-hmm. Like, come on. Like we had, a bunch of friends that weren't even into basketball. They just came to support us. But now these online classes, you don't have that face-to-face interaction. It's tough to, build that, relationship for people to come, out just to come. Even if they don't like basketball.
Mm-hmm. I also got a question because I've been seeing Instagram posts and all the people at the games when they do go. From 2013 until now, what is the difference between like just the aesthetic of the gym and the aesthetic of because
Oh yeah.
I know for a fact that our championship year did a lot for the school.
I forgot you haven't been back. You haven't been back in a while.
And I
So
want
yeah,
to come back. I gotta come back sometimes when I come back.
yeah. So KD made a donation to our athletic program. Donate $500,000. He added his logo to the court. We got a brand new court, new design on the court. It's real nice. It's called the Kevin Durant court now. He has his logo, he has a signature on the court.
Huh?
And we had the end zone bleachers. So back in the day, the end zone, like the behind the basket, there was no bleachers. It was empty space. So now there's bleachers behind that, which adds more seating to us. And then, excuse me, then behind the bench is now chair back, like bleachers. So like they're more comfortable. They're not just regular like rows of bleachers, like actually chairs. But yeah, we definitely grateful for that. You know, he didn't have to do that. He did out the kindness of his heart. Kind of looked out for, you know, his local HBCU, PG County, you know, homegrown. So we definitely appreciate, you know, that donation to us because it means a lot. You know, everybody comes in, they see the gym, they're like, wow, this doesn't look like, you know, a Division II HBCU.
I feel like a legit stadium now, bro.
Yeah. It looks definitely like a whole makeover. So when you see it in person, you're like, wow, it's crazy.
Next, they're gonna have a jumbotron in there. I know what's happening.
Well, I mentioned that we have video boards on the end too.
Okay.
So you know, for lineups, they turn the lights off. They put the guys' stuff on, the videos on the board. So they spoiled, man. They spoiled.
Spoiled, man. I can't. I said I would have loved to come out to just the lights playing man, that'd have been crazy.
It's definitely a good atmosphere. It's definitely a good atmosphere playing. So like, that's why I wish the students would come out more. It's still a good crowd, but it's not that same
energy
that same feel. You know, we was playing the football team used to be there front row, going crazy on whoever on the team. So we don't really get that. They're more quiet, you know, on their phones. This is different than the generation. We didn't really have that stuff back then. I guess we had Twitter, Instagram.
We had Twitter, we had Instagram, Twitter. Because me and you were talking about it yesterday. I interviewed Big G yesterday. And he's like, we had Twitter. He was being because he was talking about how he developed his shoe game. And organically. Excuse me.
The year before we were roommates senior year. The junior year, me and Big G were roommates.
Yeah.
And he was always into shoes. You know, he's always in, you know, drawing and, you know, creative art. So it doesn't surprise me he's still into that. Doing I think he's down in Atlanta now, right?
Yeah, he's in Atlanta. He actually got a home in Atlanta. I think he works for HP, but he's still doing this thing when it comes to the shoes. And can't wait till his podcast come out because he's had investors, he had investors, and then at some point, I think at this point, by this time the people see this, they would have already seen it. But like I think something happened along of COVID came in and kind of messed up 2 deals for him.
Okay.
But I mean, he was doing this thing, and I know it's gonna happen for him at some point soon. Yeah. Right now, he's just restabilizing his life and getting things together so he can get back into the shoe game.
Yeah, because he was creating his own shoes like from scratch. Like, dang.
Yeah,
crazy.
Remember the shoes he made for me? The ones he designed for me. So those shoes are trash, but I just wanted to get something done because I was like, "This is go get my coach."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really coming up. He's gonna have a big year in the next couple of years. So we'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to seeing that episode. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, reach out to him, man. Reach out to him. I'll make sure if you don't have his number. Actually, I need to get his number because I don't need him. I only talk to him on Facebook.
Okay.
But he's
You're old, man. You still using Facebook?
When I got Facebook, I use Facebook because I got Facebook.
I use Facebook for birthdays.
That's what I use it for. But I know I couldn't reach out to him any other way because I can't remember what his IG was until he told me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I got him on Facebook. I talked to him on Facebook. I just found him on let's do a podcast. He's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Now everybody gotta get on here, man.
I'm gonna bring on the rest of the crew. I think at some point I think I'm gonna bring the entire crew on. It's gonna be hard because them niggas don't know how to stop talking sometimes. They be running off their mouth.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy having all these boxes up here. It's gonna be tough.
But I'm gonna see if I can bring the guys on and just chop it up a little bit. I'm gonna have to really curtail that conversation. There's gonna be a lot of voices, a lot of energy.
Yeah, that'll be good though. That'll be fun.
But next, your boy Brooks. I'm gonna bring him on. We're gonna have a good conversation. I know he's got a lot of energy, a lot of stories to tell. So like,
yeah, he been doing it a long time. He's done a bunch of stuff besides coaching too. So
He is okay.
Put
the word in for let him know. I actually talked to his wife maybe like a couple of weeks ago on Facebook because I've been sending her stuff because she wants to get into like
okay.
Exactly, but you know we still keep in touch.
Cool.
I'm glad I had an opportunity to bring you on. Do you want people to find you? If anything, maybe
yeah, man, shout me out, man. Everybody can follow me, man. I follow back.
Where you at?
Instagram and Twitter's the same. BWIL12, BWIL, the number 1, number 2. Follow me. Reach out. You want to chop it up? I'm available.
And I'm gonna make sure some players come your way too, because you're looking for a team right now, brother.
Yeah, send me some guys. I need some dogs.
I'm gonna get you some dogs, man.
Send me some Brandon Dowdies, man. Send me some.
You don't need no more of me, man, because that's just too much. That's just too much energy, brother. You don't need all that.
We need that.
Well, I'm glad you had an opportunity to come on. This is another episode of My Conversation Corner. You guys can find me on all my Instagrams, all my social medias, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. My Conversation Corner. I'm glad you guys came through. See you next time.